Library user. I've been expecting you. Surround yourself with human beings, my dear James. They're easier to fight for than principles. In Casino Royale, the first of Fleming's 007 adventures, a game of cards is James Bond's only chance to bring down the desperate Smersh agent, Le Chiffre. But Bond soon discovers that there is far more at stake than mere money. Good day, readers and listeners, and welcome to this latest episode of Tom's Rapid Reviews, where each week we take a few minutes to read out a book review written by one of our fabulous Surrey Library staff. I give a bit of background and context surrounding the book and its author, and it's all done in the hope that you might be inspired to try reading or listening to something new this week. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Casino Royale, which was the first ever novel featuring Bond, James Bond. Casino Royale was written all the way back in 1953 by Ian Fleming, and marks the first outing of the now household name character James Bond. It sees the spy in a high-stakes poker game with the villainous Le Chiffre, an enemy agent belonging to the Smersh organisation. The book has, of course, been adapted into a film and was the first to feature Daniel Craig as Bond. But with the films likely having been seen by more people than the books read, I thought it would be interesting to get into the source material. So let's turn now to the review, which comes from yours truly this week. Casino Royale is not the book I expected it to be. Indeed, if you've ever read the original Fleming novels after first having come to the character of James Bond through the many films, you might have felt the same way. I've read The Man with the Golden Gun and Casino Royale now, and was surprised by the characterisation of Bond in both, but especially Casino Royale. Bond is, frankly, quite unpleasant at various points in the book. While he's still shown as a hit with women and carries himself with a certain suaveness, he's less charming and overtly bullish at times. This, on top of the uncomfortable language and attitudes towards women and other ethnicities in the book, detracted from my enjoyment of it, even taking into account the age of the novel. All that said, the book does provide a thrilling adventure, especially in the second half, and Fleming makes the gambling decidedly exciting. I found myself gripped by games I had no stake in or particular love of. What Bond himself lacks in charm or likability, he makes up for in a kind of rugged belligerence, something of a prototype, I feel, for characters like Jack Reacher. As such, I'd like to give this book 3.5 out of 5. It would be higher were the attitudes in the book a little less uncomfortable. So what can I recommend in a similar vein? Well, if you think you'd enjoy Casino Royale, there are obviously the other 12 Bond novels by Ian Fleming, which you can reserve through Surrey Libraries, including several as talking CDs. Additionally, what you might not know is that in more recent years, other authors have continued the story of James Bond. There were stories written in both the 80s and 90s, though those appear to have largely been consigned to history. More recently, though, the mantle has been taken up by Sebastian Faulks, Jeffrey Deaver, William Boyd, and Anthony Horowitz. All of these books are available through Surrey Libraries, with Trigger Mortis, Horowitz's first effort, also available as an audiobook on the Libby app. That is, I think, everything from me this week, readers. If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider liking it and subscribing to Surrey Libraries channel. For now though, stay safe, borrow books, and I'll see you next time for some more of Tom's Rapid Reviews.